The bad boy is back. Let's do it. Welcome back to the Swoosh Life Podcast, episode 72, and I believe 12 of season 4. And we got a special guest with us tonight. The bad boy of whatever he wants to be called is back joining us on the podcast. Mr. Nick Spears is joining us. Guys, how we doing out there? Welcome back, Nick.
Thanks for having me, boys. How you guys been?
Doing great. Rainy weekend here. Was trying to get 18 in, but that backfired on me. So hopefully we'll make it up this week. But it looks like more rain is on its way here in Connecticut and New York, right, Gumby?
Yeah, I think so. I'm hoping it holds off. I broke 80 for the first time this year on Saturday, and then back out at Green Lakes this coming Saturday. Feeling pretty good. Matt, how's everything?
Well, I cannot wait for this show to get on the road.
There's
so much to cover
at the beginning, and then
we all know how quickly Spears takes things off the rails. So I'm just excited about the topics. I mean, we've got the PGA stuff, we got the ADGs we got to talk about. We had a new launch recently that we wanted to get into right off the bat. So I there's so many. Choose your own adventure. Maybe we'll let the guest of honor, Mr. Nick Spears, pick which one we go with first.
Ooh. Well, let's keep it Nike. Let's do the ADG.
Oh, I like it. All right. So the Jordan ADG 5 has dropped, and there's some cool little details in this bad boy on what we're seeing out there. So we're going to rank these. We're going to rate these. We're not going to rank them.
Yeah, just score. Yeah, we could just score like in the overall collection. It doesn't have to be by color. Yeah.
So I'm going to pull them up if you're watching us on YouTube. Remember, go subscribe. But I think they're pretty nice. Nick, your initial thoughts on these as we pull them up to show?
Initial thoughts? I like them. They're not my style. I'm probably not going to buy them, but I do like the look of them. I'm going to be a little honest. I wish every colorway. Okay, so we got the grapes right there. I wish every colorway had the little nods to the 5s like the grapes do.
But don't you think it's nice that they
on the heel counter,
the cement, like these are cement, so then there's cement, like same thing, white elephant.
Can you bring up the teal, the tongue of the teal?
Yes, tongue of the grapes.
And zoom in on that.
Yeah.
That's like a nod to the 5s, but the other two are just your typical ADG tongue. The grapes I like. I really, really like the grapes.
I agree. I think the little like bomber accent in the thing here.
Yep.
What's the coolest accent? I mean, we're just seeing these kind of. We saw some heat pictures early. We posted it on our socials on what these look like, but to get in the XXII in there is a detail just to be actually used as stitching, but then to be to a nod to 23. I think it's just that's what we love about what Nike and Jordan does in golf shoes when they are executed properly, right? The grapes with the little bomber flares on the things and then into the heel cap as well is what makes this shoe like so dang cool, and it's just one of those things that like maybe why we're judgmental, maybe why we're like critical on some other shoes out there, probably ones that we will talk about later this episode, because it's a slight miss, whereas these I think hit quite well in my opinion. But I also am an ADG or like Stan. I love those ones. They're so cool. So grapes might have to be it this year. They're really quite awesome.
What's the inside of the heel counter say again? I forget what it says. Or does it not show it on?
It says Jordan on the heel.
It's on the inside, like I don't know the correct term. The opposite side of that.
Oh, on the inner heel.
Yeah, there. Yeah,
it's just more of that toothpaste.
No, it says
23 because they're not using React this year. There was React in the liner of the ADG4, and then this one is Formula 23, which they debuted in the Luca 2s. Formula 23, I have to try it more often. I don't think it's as bouncy as React, so I'm interested to see how it comes off in the ADG5. But I absolutely love the black and red version. I love the white and red. You see here on the inside of the heel of the white and red, there's a made to the exact specifications kind of thing. I think it has a latitude, longitude. Is that what it's doing there?
Yeah,
a little bit. So
golf.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of all three. I really like all three. I think it's interesting. Did you notice, like on the Birmingham Barons 9s that are coming out, how that has the golf ball logo, and then the Wood 9s had the golf ball logo, but not the other ones. And then here, to your point, the white and red, black and red have a traditional tongue, and then you have the 5 tongue is on the grape version. So I kind of like that little nod. I do too. I don't know. Do I wish I had the 5 tongue on the black and red? Because black and red is my favorite player. I absolutely love the red bottoms. Like the red bottoms speak to me. Speaks to me about
translucent red, though.
Yeah, it's almost like another shoe that could have been made for another guy that's famous for wearing black and red. If they had only thrown spikes on these,
ouch!
I don't know.
I played golf with a buddy this weekend, and he goes, "I have never seen you wear that." He hadn't seen me wear the ADGs before. He goes, "Never seen you wear those before. It's not not your style." And I was like, "I like them. They're kind of cool." He goes, what are they doing? Those look like someone else's shoes. I was like, "Yeah, only if they had spikes, right?" He goes, "Yeah." It's like, exactly, man.
Gumby, you might get all 3 of these because that 79 you played in with those. So
I know I did. Yeah,
you're an ADG player now.
Yeah,
I am. I think it's if I were to do anything, it's the purples. I think these are cool. It's not a color that I have, but it is a color that I'm wanting to add to the repertoire of polos. Because all you need is like one polo in either color, and you're good, right? You can wear white shorts, black shorts, whatever. So
I know I said that before, but I like the clean look of the Jordan logo right there on the outside.
Yep.
Small, brings you back to like the first round of Nike cleats back in the day when the swoosh was down on the bottom sole there, back heel.
Like this silhouette is clean. I don't the flare out of like where the tongue comes down, like this is a little bit too deep for me. Maybe it just look a little bit like slimmer in here, but it still looks really really good.
Yeah. Helps separate it from the 4, but I do like that this is the direction they're going with ADGs, right? Like the Megatron ADG2, I wasn't a big fan of that Transformer heel, whatever they were doing there. So I like the direction that this line is going. And again, would you throw spikes in it? I don't know. So I think we're all in agreement. We're a thumbs up on this, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, absolutely.
All 3 colorways were nice. I know the red's kind of like the old last year's ADG4s, but that white red right there, that's pretty sharp.
The red heel looks like is better executed than another white red shoe that is coming out. The only thing that I see is just like the icy. You're right. If this was just plain white or the plain reds, like you'd probably hit it out of the park. The icy gets so dirty, right?
It's so quick because you're outside.
It just shows, yeah.
I just love that the younger generation, because I have a lot of these guys on Instagram that I follow that do like the basketball shoe reviews, and they're finally coming around to icy soles don't grip in a gym.
Stuck.
And my thing is just longevity, right? Because like I don't care about preferred swimmer. I don't play hoops like that anymore. But it's like, icy soles. If anything's gonna go, if anything's getting out of style, whether it's joggers, I hope icy soles eventually go out of style.
That's why I just like the grapes, because that sole is just like solid and nice.
Yeah, when it's a solid rubber, it's beautiful.
Yeah, just clean. So, score wise for me, I'm at like a 4-4. Like I think I don't know I think that's like for all of it.
We can score all 3 together.
Yeah, I think if we had that longitude inside here, it would be kind of nice. Here's the thing. I don't like that they're doing that. You know me in the VT3, right? Like I don't like this little partition here for the inside being a separate panel. I just think that like the way that the outside looks so clean that I don't need that on the inside to have that partition come down,
Yeah.
But again, I'm nitpicking something that's a high score, right? So that's why. But stitching, XXII, cool, dope.
Nick, what's your score on the 3?
Little tabber. I mean,
I'm gonna go.
hidden.
Like I said, it's not my style, but I'm still going. Man, I'll go 4-2. I'm a big. I like a clean, bold shoe, and I think that fits it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's just. I'm not the dress wear style shoe. I'm more athletic, but I can admit that's a sweet looking shoe.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I'm going to bump up the score a little bit. A good 4.55 with me on the whole 3 line. Yeah, of the 3.
Double nickel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all 3 are great. Like I was around a 4.7. Like there's just because there's not much I would change on these. There's not much that I would change. I think it's the kind of shoe that it serves its purpose, right? Like it's a dressy, it's a FootJoy kind of customer, but you can buy it in a Jordan kind of thing. So that's how I feel about these 4.7 for the ADG 5. Now, speaking of 5, on 5.1, we did have a release.
I have to just only interrupt, and I know that was a really good segue, Matt, and so I apologize, but I need to.
We're gonna spend 20 minutes on the ADG 5. I just fucking know.
No, I need to.
Sorry, we're gonna spend 20 minutes and then wonder why we're here till midnight.
I just that's the only complaint I have with these is the way that these shoelaces are. They're so thin, and then they have like the one thing, and then look at what's happening. Like all bunched up and everything.
Okay, this is valid. Okay, sorry.
So this
Gummy's
is like
laces are in.
These are like shambles, and I don't even know what happened, but like this is how I like turned up to them like the other day. Like so I even played in like bad laces and shot a 79. So imagine what I could do without good laces. So these are gonna get relaced, but I have to I think I need to go get like FootJoy laces. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to.
What if you just take the laces out completely and shoot a 69?
Nick, huh?
What? What'd you say?
I said Nike doesn't make these type of laces where they're like thin.
That's 2 FootJoy references.
I understand that, but it's more of because of the availability of what's actually needed for these. You know what I'm saying? So
Word.
What did you say, Matt? You said I can shoot 69 in bad laces?
No, I'm saying you should take the laces completely out and maybe the score goes lower. Maybe the less lace you have, the better. Like, and then maybe we just go to the Etonics with the 2 straps. You just wear the grandpa shoes with the straps and shoot a 59. I think
what is happening to this podcast?
So are you telling me that I will shoot like sub 75 if I wear the mules? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, I was not even going there, but that's brilliant. Yes, that's amazing.
There's a segue.
Yeah, Nick, how do you feel about the mules? No, we'll keep on our topics that we agreed upon. Hater, just absolute hater.
The mules that we've seen on DJ Khaled, those ones, I could kind of dig those.
Yeah, with the Barcelona pattern. I think the mules do look better in white with the Barcelona pattern, but that's not why you all called. We did have a big launch. Well, there was a big launch in the golf world. Nike didn't have a big launch. But on 5/1, Sunday Red launched their apparel. Now, Nick, as somebody who's not been on the podcast week to week to week, speaking about Sunday Red, what were your thoughts on the launch and the reception to Sunday Red?
He doesn't want to talk about it.
Tiger Woods is done.
Break.
It's over. No one. Who cares? I don't care about. It's not Nike. It's not a Jordan. I don't care. You guys can go ahead and talk about it. I'll chill. You want my answer? That's my answer. I don't care about Sunday Red. I hate the logo. Why don't you just, hey, look, MJ put a cat on his logo. I'm going to take a cat and put it on my logo too.
I think most
Hey,
of us
love the truth. I love
world
the truth.
feels that way. Here's what I take away from that launch is that we were dead on price when we speculated earlier on in the show. We were dead on price, and then we didn't get anything that we actually wanted. If you want red, you didn't get it until like literally a couple days ago, not during launch. And everyone wants the glove that he wears, and you can't get that glove. So other than that, I don't know, like, oh, and I think that there's a ton of bots just eating it up because it's something new. So I don't know. Oh,
All right.
number
More
one.
Joe Tree. Yeah. I will always be a Tiger fan, no matter what. But like I said before, when all this happened, nice hat, Nick. Nice sweatshirt. Thank you for making that change. Enough seeing gold and navy blue.
it's maize and blue. Get it right.
Navy blue.
Natty champs, boys.
Every Michigan person that I know
First Jumpman school to be national champions. Woo! Man.
In everything, there's not another school that won it
Basketball, no Jordan basketball team's done it yet.
except for UNC a couple years ago.
They lost to Villanova.
Oh, I thought UNC won a couple years ago.
Anyways, Keith was talking.
Either way, sorry.
All right. But back to the Sunday Red launch. I was the one up at midnight. Nick, you can go to the bathroom like you said you were going to. So just go and come back.
Hold on. I'm going to defend Keith. I'm going to jump in and defend you for a second because you know what this guy did? For everybody listening, because it's still a podcast. All right, for everybody listening, this guy went off screen, put on a Nike hoodie to tell us to start talking about Nike with a Grove 23 hat on, and I'm willing to bet $100 American right now that Grove 23 hat is not made by Nike. So eat it, Nick, and keep it on mute. Keep it on. Yeah, I don't think that Grove 23 hat is Nike either. There we go. Oh, it's a Jordan. Anyways, so Keith, please resume.
All right, back to your paid programming here. The Nike launch, the Sunday Red launch. Nick, thanks for confusing me. All right,
I brought you guys back. Welcome back.
Jesus,
we are off the rails.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That should be the name of this episode. Bad boy off the rails.
Yep.
No,
all right,
off the rails.
So I was one of those people staying up until midnight with the May 1st launch, and it went live 15 minutes before midnight, and I had shit in my cart already. A couple hats, one polo. 5 minutes later, not even midnight, that stuff disappeared right out of my cart, and everything was just gone right at midnight. So kind of sucked a little bit because, like I said, I will always be a Tiger fan. Nike number one, though. I mentioned that plenty of times, but Tiger will always be my boy. But with the Sunday Red launch a couple of days ago, they actually, if anybody caught this out there, they actually released some of the red stuff on a Friday afternoon.
Yes, they did.
And they took it down a couple hours later. So, but I was able to snag one of the Sunday Red hats, the red with the black tiger on it. Will it show up? I don't know, because it happened before it was dropped on that Sunday. But I wanted to ask you guys before I know Nick's done with Sunday Red. How do you feel overall about the launch score-wise? Like, 1 to 5 like we usually do. Just overall, like presentation, it could be inventory and selection. Like just real quick, I know you guys looked at it all and saw everything was sold out or coming soon or, but how do you guys feel?
I'll give you a story that I went to their site and looked at some stuff. We got to feel it on somebody, that's a weird way to say it, but to kind of just see like the quality and everything like that. But so then I was like, well, what size would I wear? And obviously being a bigger guy, I kind of know where I'm going to fall in sizing. So they have actually like a size chart thing on their website. And then you can put in your size, like how tall you are, weight, waist size, all of that stuff. And then it says it uses AI to determine the best proper size for you, which is like fine, cool, awesome, like well done. But the recommended size is a 3XL, which is hey, that's fine. That's normally what I'm at with some things. They don't offer 3XL at all. So it's funny that like you get the recommended size, but then you can't actually buy any of that. So that's just I don't know. It was like a 2-3 for me. That's just because I think there's a lot to be like left desired by it. I just think it falls flat. You get a gray and a coral. You didn't have red at the launch.
Yeah.
It's very Adam Scott to me, and that's just I haven't liked that for a long time. Like I don't know.
Current Uniqlo Adam Scott or past?
I just think like Adam Scott in playing golf, he's
Same
one
colors.
color monotone, like
Same
boring.
colors.
And if you watch the Masters, that was Tiger's pants were like they were almost like chameleon. Like you couldn't tell if they were brown or gray or whatever. You know, like it's I don't know. If that's your style, cool. But it wasn't his style for like 20 years, and now it supposedly is. So he also was on the Today Show and saying that this was designed for athletes by athletes, and I was like, I think I've heard that before.
Yeah,
So
I think I've seen a lot of this apparel stuff too. That looks exactly like what Nick's sweatshirt looks like right now.
A bunch of bitter haters in here.
I wasn't happy. I'll just be honest. I wasn't happy with it. I think it was pathetic, actually, the launch. I do. I really do. And this is just coming.
Is that because you couldn't get anything in the cart? Would your opinion have changed if you had gotten stuff?
No, I don't think so. It's just, I think just the overall experience. I was just hoping for something bigger, more colors, not just the same. What am I trying to say? Kind of like along the lines of what you were saying, Gumby, the Adam Scott kind of line. Just your tree forest colors like that we haven't seen in a long time him wearing from, when he was with Nike and stuff. So it's just
the coolest colorway you can't get.
Yeah.
Like the green, you have to be this member.
So
I don't know how you become a member, and you can't get it. Like, and that's like
you gotta become a member the way y'all are going.
I love Tiger though. The green stuff was the best. That was the best color out of all of them.
I think there's room in life to have two brands, and I like Nike, right? I like and I love Nike, and I like some of this stuff, and I want to like it. One of these tonal camo polos was 3 years ago's model at Nike. Like, I just wanted more. Like, he's worn 6 pieces. He's worn 6 pieces that we have seen, right? Because he wore red on Sunday. He played 4 rounds of the Masters and 2 rounds. One of the pieces that we've actually seen is not for sale, right? The second day at Riv.
Based on his amateur day. Yeah, that was great polo.
That's a cool polo. This is where it's just we'll be critical of Nike in the next segment. We're critical of this because it's someone that we like. Like, it is just one of those things where like that feels like a botch, right? And
that's what's hilarious to me, because Nick is going to be the most critical of Nike this whole podcast, but now right now here he is.
Yeah.
No, because we're talking about Nike in the next segment. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I think it was difficult because they probably made like 2 pairs of each size to make it look like they sold out, because nobody's going to buy this.
That's another thing I was thinking of too. Like, did they do that? But like, did they not have enough time? Of course, we don't know if they had enough time to prepare for this. Prepare for this launch. Why didn't it launch when they all knew that he was going to play it in Augusta? Why was it on May 1st? But I think we know a little bit more of what the May 1st drop was and why that dropped on May 1st.
Well, let's also be realistic. This didn't happen January 1. They've been planning this forever, so I think it's a total botch.
Yeah.
How long has he not been wearing Nike shoes?
2+ now.
Okay. They've had plenty of time.
That doesn't mean that they weren't negotiating to the last minute.
Well, they might have been negotiating, but you can't tell me TaylorMade wasn't, or something they read wasn't freaking.
Well, and we've had this discussion before, Matt, right? Like, we know that, like, we wanted him back, but, like, MJ would never, right? MJ's throwing the flag over the shoulder in the Olympics because he wasn't Nike. It's one of those things where, like, even at the last minute, it just is like, I don't know. I'm conflicted.
Are y'all done?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank God.
Yeah. I think it's actually a great freaking brand, and I think it's great pricing, and I think they're going someplace that Nike should have gone with him. Flat out. There's another part to that story, right? Like, two parties got to dance, right? Like, right now, if you want $120 from Polo, if you want $120 performance Polo made for the athlete from Nike, it's some weird alligator crocodile ADV material that is not stretchy or comfortable. And is it, right? Like, let's talk about it, right? Like 120 to 120. I don't know. I still haven't tried this stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't tried this stuff.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that's the thing too. We know what ADV is. We don't know what any of this is.
And we've been talking about ADV for the last 4 years and nobody wants it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it, right?
Well, because that was a Tiger thing, though. He wanted ADV.
I got a hard
He changed to ADV.
So, like, I got a hard time judging it. And yeah, did they have enough time to launch it the right way? Probably not, which makes me think, hey, you know what? They were all talking about this probably for the last year and a half, right? So at the end of the day, look, I wish the guy well. He did a lot for Nike Golf. He did a lot for the game of golf. So, and here's the thing. This is the thing that makes me mad when people want to, like, get after Tiger, right? Like, get after Tiger and the price of this stuff. If there's other brands out there charging you $180 for a Polo, if anybody deserves to get $180 for a Polo, it's
Michael
the goddamn
Jordan.
best player of all time. It's the best golf player of all time deserves to charge what he wants for a hoodie and a Polo.
Yeah.
Right? That's the guy who deserves to, you got these brands just showing up out of nowhere, right? Like, and they want 120 for a Polo. So, I'm just trying to be fair. I'm trying to be fair in all of it, right? Like, am I a Nike lover? Absolutely. Am I a Tiger lover? Absolutely. But to say that it's like complete disaster. So you're telling me all the other brands out there that charge 100 plus for a Polo are a disaster? Because they're in pro shops.
We didn't say their stuff was a disaster. We said that the execution of a launch is a slight disaster, that you can't get stuff that you see. You can't get. He goes on the Tonight Show. You can't get that Polo. He goes on. He's worn 6 pieces. You can't get those Polos. That is all I am talking about. That if you were going to launch a brand and you were going to make this something, you need to like be obtainable. I went on. I watched the Tonight Show. I want to buy that thing. You can't buy it. We've had this conversation about Nike's products before too. If you see something and then you can't buy it, if you can't buy Scotty's shirt from Sunday at the Masters, that is a fail no matter who you are across the board. And so I'm not saying that his stuff is a failure. I think some of it is nice. I don't maybe agree with $135 for shorts, but that's my budget more than anything. But I agree. He deserves to charge what he wants compared to these other folks that charge the exact same thing for fucking bullshit. So I get that part. I just you're Sunday red. You can't launch red on May 1st. You have to launch it like on May 5th, like 3rd, whatever. Like it just feels a little bit like what,
Or was that their version of a shock drop to try to find the bots?
It could be.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
Got to create the illusion of supply and demand.
Well, look, here's the thing. Without any pre-orders, this is just the business side of it. Without any pre-orders, you're not going to order a ton of this stuff. You're just not. You have no distribution. It's quite obvious. They said there's a reason that the first year is online only, because they have to create a business case for clubs to bring it in, for retailers to bring it in, right? Like everybody first year of a new brand, there were no pre-orders. Like, and that's the other thing. That's how I know That's how I'm willing to bet that the negotiations were going up to the last minute because nobody pre-ordered. Nobody knew this stuff didn't leak until Jordan Rodgers leaked it in October, in November.
Well, Jordan Rodgers got a tip to leak it, but
he's a smart guy. He can put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Some of us just need to leak faster. But it's a good discussion. I love this. See, I love this. This is like an actual good, great discussion here about, the state of the game, right? Because, hey, look, I don't think they're satisfied. And we talked about it before,
I think it all ties into golf is everybody's doing their own thing right now. There's a million different brands. Look at the hoodies that we just kind of did for people out there. We're trying to make a little brand for ourselves too. So it's, I think we all fall along in these parts, and Tiger's doing what he wants to do. And just, plain and simple. And I'm happy for him. I like the stuff. I will get the stuff. I wasn't shocked with the pricing. I was fine with it. It was just, it just went, and I didn't think the stuff was going to go. I overthought it, but whatever.
So Gumby made a great point, and I want to this will be my last point on it. Is you talked about the same tonal camo shirt, right? And sometimes like playing the hits is okay, because guess what I wore Thursday of last week? I wore a TW tonal camo polo to work from 4 years ago, and it fits me perfect. And I love the way I look in it, and I love the way it looks on me. And guess what? If they have that same cut, that same fit with pretty close materials, I'm an interested customer.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I said this a long time ago. Give me that polo that he wore back when he first showed up at Riv. Give me a polo that he wore in his third amateur win at TPC Sawgrass. I'm in on it. I think it's kind of cool. It kind of harkens back, but you gotta give me those first, too. So, all right, we've talked enough about that. Let's get into some PGA stuff. Some PGA drops have happened this past week. We've gotten finally this. What do you want to call it, guys? The wood pack? You want to call it the?
I was going to ask: does it have a name yet? Like Endless Pursuit? Does it have a name?
I don't know.
think so.
Let me look it up.
I don't.
This is all right. Here, I will read you guys the description.
All the shoe descriptions say bourbon barrel aged.
Yeah,
Browns.
so this is gonna be the bourbon pack. The barrel pack, the bourbon barrel pack.
They don't use that description on the apparel though. So the hats and the sweaters just say back in Louisville for the first time in 10 years. So because there is Louisville Slugger, right, in Louisville. So that's why I beforehand kind of thought, okay, it could go one of two ways. Like it could be Louisville Slugger, but I mean, once I saw the hang tags, the hang tags from the bourbon bottles, I was like, okay, this has to be a bourbon pack, and there it is in the shoe descriptions.
Well, wait a second, Matt. The hang tags for the PGA? That's weird. All right.
We can talk about it. We can be quite frank about it and talk about it. There feels to be a disconnect on what we got, and Happy Life Wood did a collab with them on the Jordan 9s. They're really great, talking about sports.
You guys keep talking.
And making kind of a happy life in any area, which is this is from the description. Metal accented eyelets, lace tips, back tags all speak to iconic cutting edge clubs that continue to set trends, smash through performance barriers. But these have very much. I'm going to pull up my screen while he puts something. Should I blow this up?
Go ahead, blow it up. Nick has taken down his Michigan.
You guys
Wolverines,
are watching on
his
on
beloved
YouTube.
Michigan Wolverines, and this is the kind of content we get. So for those of you listening, Nick has now hung a sign, which was quite nicely made. So he's put some craftsmanship into it.
He's some time into this show.
He actually got a brown marker
like 2 hours ago.
He got a brown marker. And it actually says no one likes Brown, which I would disagree with, but go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Gumby. You finish and then go to our guest.
I don't even know what I was talking about anymore.
You were
I am
reading
so
the descriptions, but
I was
off the
reading the
rails.
description I was bringing up the 9 to show,
Hey, while you're there, this is perfect for my sign. Could you go to the sizes available?
yeah, let's go to the sizes available.
Oh, they're all there.
Lots of sizes available.
That's weird.
It truly does feel like something was amiss and something like we could have just waited a month and then these
Can I talk?
fit perfectly. Absolutely. Speak freely, my friend.
No one's buying Brown. And the other thing is Nike, we all know that Nike likes to tell a story they love to tell the story. Someone botched this and botched it bad because those 9s obviously were not for the Masters. We all saw the iridescent 9s. We saw the picture of them. We know they were supposed to be made. Don't know where they're at. Maybe they're in the cloud somewhere. I don't really know. Botched. It's a Jordan NRG and every size is available. Brown doesn't work, and if you can't tell the story right, it's not going to work either.
Well, you're not the first one to comment this. We had a couple commenters on our Instagram asking about this as well. Matt did a whole reel on this when they were first put out, and then we were obviously taken aback when they showed up for the Masters and the first major. But yeah, this is kind of, they're trying to hint at it also. These are the descriptions for the next percent that it was. There's just something about the crack of an old school wood club or the smell of a fresh pour after 18 holes. The special edition Infinity Tour has barrel-aged bourbon browns and smoke streaks of razor-sharp oranges that nod to Kentucky. Wood grain graphic on the swoosh logo and tree trunk inspired outsoles highlight a design rooted in tradition and timber, and you still get the updates from the previous Infinity Tour, increased overall volume, added energy transfer through your swing and traction in key areas to help reduce slipping with a light iron ore sail khaki baroque brown, which is shown. That's just the Infinity Tour. I think there's some other good ones in the Pegasus might go hardest, to be quite honest. There's something about the crack and roll. Again, this is the same thing.
Did you
browns
notice the
and
description
oranges.
says Victory Tour 3 on the Pegasus?
Yeah. And then the Victory Tour 3. I mean, the nicest thing about this is the ombre underneath the sole.
They actually do use that panel. We talked about that panel not being used, that inner panel. Look at that. Which I know this is
not used. It's just not used well. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Wow,
Like,
I can't wait to hear these scores. Oh shoot.
oh shit. I mean, I don't know.
You like how I didn't swear there, but we've already dropped F-bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Someone else give me, which one do you want to start with?
Doesn't matter.
Can we rank them first? Like let's rank the pack part. Let's rank the pack. Like just what's our favorite to least favorite out of the 3? 4 if you want to.
4 or no? This is no. It's a 4. It's 4.
Can you go to the Jordan 9 real quick? Just look
Yeah.
at the insole. I just want to see the insole of the Jordan 9. And the other thing I think we'll show you guys is that I don't know that anybody's posted the box of these, right? But the box on these will tell you what the energy was meant for, unless they restickered them all. Because typically on the first major of the year, you will see like an
M or a P.
That's right.
Or a U or a O.
I think U.S. Open was U. Yep, you're correct.
U,
And then
yeah.
O for Open Championship.
Open,
So
yeah.
they just started doing that on the boxes. So, I mean, whether it came out for the first major or second major, I think is beside the point. I think it's interesting because I would just say this, like they did film a bunch of content with the artist. And they made
who
no
we're
mention.
trying to have on the podcast because he is a local. He's Rochester based,
And he is amazing.
Great
He's
guy.
awesome.
Really cool dude. Really cool dude.
And
So
friend of the podcast, Cavi. We had Cavi on in season 1. Is doing some stuff for him as well. Cavi's going to try and golf with him. I'm going to try and go with Cavi to golf with him as well. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully we can get him on the podcast because I think it'll be awesome.
Yep.
So
I think here's the thing on this. With brown, just strictly brown as a color, there's a lot of people that do like the color brown. They will wear khaki. They will wear browns. And it's not usually available. Now, the question is, like, do you go to a major pack with this? But I think if you're going to engage an artist like him, like you have to do it around a major. You don't just do it kind of like in a vacuum separately, right? And we've talked about this where the PGA has kind of like been the ho hum of the editions, right? Like last year in Beth
we didn't even get them last year, right?
Right.
Like,
at least we're getting these.
Yeah.
At least we're getting these, and I'm a fan for different reasons, and I'll talk.
Outlets are going to get them.
I like the browns. I do. I think the Pegasus, like as a casual shoe, like with the wood grain.
You can wear that with a lot, I think, this right here, the Pegasus.
I think so. And I will tell you, like, from getting the Pegasus Endless Pursuit version, like, I wore that for a demo day, and I absolutely love them. They're pretty darn comfortable. Now, again, like I said, do I like the way Air Max 1 looks better? Yes, absolutely. You know what I mean? But
Air Max 1s would have been pretty tight in these.
Would have been pretty tight. So I think the Pegasus, they did very well. So I would actually rank this number 2. My rank is number 1 for the next percent. And then I would, even though the Victory Tour 3 did use that panel that we've been begging them to use on the inside, I'm going to put that as my least favorite of the 3. From that, so the thing I love is they added this blue gray out of nowhere. The blue gray doesn't appear on the other 2, right? Or does it do on the Victory Tour 3? Sorry. If we go back,
I just want you guys to look at this and see the way that this stains, like the way that this insole is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like the stain, like it's wood burned.
It's burnt like on the Louisville Slugger bat. That's what it's kind of
then
oval shape.
Let's just go to these.
That's why I asked you to look at the insoles. They're dead on, aren't they?
It's dead on. It's the exact same.
Weird.
So I would just call this the wood pack, right? Like it's not bourbon because it could be.
And it should be. And it's the wood pack. Then it should be all together, not like one came out for around one other major and one's coming out from another major. Does
it make you think that there's still some logistic issues going on, or you think we're past all that, or things just?
If a Masters 9 shows up at the end of the year, then we know, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like if we see that. So I mean, Nick's calling out a good point. Is that
Matt,
we all were expecting something different?
Yeah. And the bluish gray and the
I like that bluish gray. Now, look, and here's the other thing. Not every major can be just black or white or a blue, right? Like, take a chance every once in a while. So I like that they took a swing at it, pun intended.
Oh.
The brown is for some people. The brown is not for everybody. So I will be kinder to these than you guys otherwise. But it's the right story. Like, the right story for Louisville is bourbon. The right story for Louisville is Louisville Slugger. And if you want to, like my old Kentucky home, if you want to talk about that, like the blue skies, the horse races, all that stuff, Kentucky Derby, the blue kind of speaks to that. I think they did justice to the area where the major event is headed. Is it for everybody? Is it going to have as much universal? So I guess this is what I'm going to ask Nick right here. Would you take the Woodpack or Endless Pursuit?
Endless Pursuit by a billion.
Okay, because we didn't get because I didn't know how you felt about Endless Pursuit because
I thought the Endless Pursuit, every shoe, including the Air Jordan 9 that should have been there, were perfect.
So, Nick, though, do you agree that if take the 9 out of it or put the 9 into it, that this pack at least tells the story of the major?
Tells the story, yeah. It's just ugly.
Right. It's just not your cup of tea, but you believe that it is the right story for this major in Louisville.
I will say it is a good story. I don't know if it's the right story, but it fits.
Nick wanted Kentucky Derby horsehair. He wanted horsehair all over these shoes.
Well, Matt, you actually stole it because I was getting ready for you guys to stop yapping, and I was going to say, why didn't they just the Black Cat 4s? Like, why don't we just put some hair on them and call them the Kentucky Derby?
Because those are gross.
Percent.
Because those are gross, and bourbon is an amazing hobby with an amazing community, unlike this one.
Well, it is. It doesn't belong on shoes. It's brown. No one likes brown. See?
People like brown.
No
People-
one likes brown. Khaki, tan, beige, none of the brown family. None of it. Nobody likes it. That stuff's going to be sitting all year.
You're talking to a guy who does not, because I worked at Best Buy for years, I refuse to wear a pair of khaki or light brown, or even I have a tough time even with sale. Like, I'm barely on the sale train. I can barely get sale pants on, right? Like, I'm always in black or gray. But there's a spot for this. This is decent. Trust me.
Now, have you ever seen or talked to a human being who was like, damn, I want to look like the UPS driver? No, not a single person wants to look like that.
Is there any yellow in this? There's no yellow in this.
It's brown.
That orange is pretty dang close to yellow.
UPS brings my Nike boxes. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Yeah, the UPS are just a partner for Nike.
Man. Hey, you want to do me a favor? Is that the only picture of the soul on those?
No.
Now, can you rotate that?
Again. Yep.
Can you rotate that so it's
What do you think I can do? I'm on the website, Nick. I can't do anything else.
So Matt,
I can't just pick and rotate.
Dead serious, Matt. I'm actually being serious on this one. If you flip that so the toe of the shoe is on the bottom, does that look like a glass with whiskey in it?
It looks more like a beer.
Oh wow!
But I kind of dig that.
Well played. Well played.
That's nice. With some bubbling, right?
Again, with the inner spikes being different, so it could be like ice, could be like rocks.
Yeah.
Wow, great catch, Nick.
Wow.
Look at
Now
you.
I gotta go
You're
look at
falling in
some
love
other
with
ones.
these, huh?
Nope. Trash.
Can we see the
Those
soul
are
of the
just
NXT?
clear. Yeah, those are clear.
Oh, they're all
Clear.
clear. I mean,
Clear with speckle.
That's the
I'm
only downfall I have on those, but those will be purchased.
I
Don't
will
worry, those will be
purchase
brown
these.
after a couple wears.
There we
Okay,
go.
so let's get
Yeah,
into the
even
ranks
that
real
way.
quick. Okay, so Nick's out on this, but Keith, what are your ranks on the three?
Next percent, Pegasus,
Okay.
and VT3.
So same as me, Gumby.
Pegasus above 1, then next percent, then BT3.
Okay.
But here's my thing. And unlike Nick, I can get down with brown a little bit more. I cannot get down with gray and the brown. This feels like wearing black shoes with a blue suit. It does not work for me. Like I just something about this just does not. This gray, here's the thing. I'll take you guys to school on some color theory. This is
why the Pegasus hits better, right? Yeah.
This is a cool gray. This is a in the family tones of grays that are cool. They're more bluish and all that stuff. There's blue. There's cool colors. There's warm colors. Blue, green, purples are your cool. Red, yellow, oranges are your warm. So this is more of that blue gray. You've talked about it in the VT3 being more of that cool gray, especially in the Infinity Tour being that cooler bluish gray. To then contrast that with these very warm browns and oranges and all that stuff, it feels harsh in my eyes. I know you guys might not feel that way, but this could have just been a warm gray. It could have been a toned warm gray, and maybe they are trying to tell that blue story a little bit more. Sure. For me, in my own opinion, it does not work in my eyes because it is more of like that bluish gray instead of like a warm gray, which you could have easily done. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on it. It could have been like the gray in my walls. That's like a warmer gray than this cooler gray. So for that, it really brings it down in my own eyes. I'm not saying that there's anything else, but it's just grays and browns I can't get together with. They feel like they clash. Whereas this could have just been more, it could have been sale. It could have been more khaki instead of the gray, and I would be in on it because it would feel more of like the 9. There's no gray in that. It fits really well. You know what I mean? Like maybe you
Yeah.
can maybe argue there's a little gray in this, like the bottom. Cool. I can deal with that kind of gray, but even this feels more of like that warmer gray than the blue gray does. So my 2 cents, my color theory, my design eye, but it's not anything to take away from it. It just will. It's just not my favorite pack, right? Like I was even low on Endless Pursuit for a little bit, and then I got them in hand. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? So
I feel it's like a very leathery brown on the wing that creates like that. Because I like that blue gray color. I actually do like that blue gray color.
Sure,
but like, so should they have done like that? What the laces are made out of? Should they have done that coming up and just kept it to those 2 color families?
It may not have been enough contrast, like the heel, the inside of the heel and everything like that probably is then more like monotone instead, but you could have gotten maybe darker with like the lace, the laces and everything.
I have a question. Is that stitching? Okay, so we go to that stitching real quick.
Yeah.
Is that like a baseball mitt?
Because
there's nothing from the bourbon world that speaks to me on that stitching.
It definitely could be. I like that detail, if so.
Yeah.
Because on the regular retail ones, there's just a line stitching, so it's definitely a
detail one.
Yeah.
So, and I think even like some of the way that this, like, let me get a closer up of the tongue.
Nick, you won't get these next
some of this like waffling in here.
Hell no.
Like the way that this is like, almost checkerboard. This feels very like almost like race. Like a race pack, like bringing in the Kentucky Derby a little bit, just this type of texture, like you would see in like on the jockeys and stuff like that, So
this is
and
like
this leather rawhide. This is from a baseball mitt right here.
Yeah,
like not only like the hang tag, but like this leather, the way that this is done, that's a baseball
mitt. Like that, your baseball glove.
Yeah. So,
a lot of hidden features.
It's just really a shame because. Like this shoe, it's one of the best shoes they've ever made. I'm fine with saying that. It is a phenomenal golf shoe. Those colors.
I'll say I'm agree with you. It's the best shoe, period. Like if you're buying a golf shoe this year, you should be buying the Next Percent, right? Like I don't think there's another shoe to try. The double blue that just came out that Brooks has been wearing on Live, I think that's the best color. I think Endless Pursuit might be a shade above because I love black white. See, I love contrast. Gumby doesn't like contrast, so good example.
No, but I like the black white. Again, but you got to remember this.
The iridescent. You had to see the iridescent in person.
Yeah, well, and that too. You have to remember what I've said on this podcast for 4 years. I'm a white shoe guy, so even this is like it just doesn't work for my eye. Like I'm not saying anything against this shoe. I think like if you guys love the shoe, the design of it, and Matt, it makes a lot of sense for you in the way that your hobbies align. Keith, you just love the Infinity Tour, and I think it makes a lot of sense for you. For me, I cannot, like, it's just not my cup of tea. But that doesn't mean anything. There's still good details in it, and I can absolutely respect that. But again, I hit my maxes with lobsters and peaches because that's my like hobbies in my life. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where like they're not all gonna be. You can't buy every shoe anyways. I would go fucking broke. So like, it's kind of a good thing, right? Like, but I also didn't think I would get the Next Percent in the Endless Pursuit, and then I do, and I'm happy that I do because they're sick. And I said also in that episode too that I almost rather have the Endless Pursuit because of the iridescent than just having the plain black and white ones, So so I'm glad that I have them, but it's just great.
Good.
I'm just kind of on Team Nick because of the colors, but even then I don't mind the brown and the story that it tells. It's just the gray. It's that gray, that blue gray that just throws me,
I think Nick's got a brown floor in the background, and he's sitting on a brown chair. So
that's what browns are made for.
And to be fair, I think the Pegasus does the best job of it because, like, there is Like
I wouldn't mind wearing
even
those
this
downtown.
even this lighter gray in here is
Yeah.
warmer than this, and that could have been on the next percent,
I
But
just
like
want to
this
shout
is a
out.
two-tone. This is two-toned here. This is dark here. Like I just like these. If we were to get the Pegasus, I would take the Pegasus. You know what I mean? Like I like the Pegasus. That is about where I'm at. So
Yeah, the texturing on the Pegasus is nicely done.
well
to
done.
invoke that wood
It's
grain.
so nice. Yeah, even like the way that they have different. You can't see it as well on the screen if you're watching us on YouTube, but there's like even just when there's texture in like the heel cap and there's wood grain everywhere, but like done in I would say three different ways, and then even the soles are different, right? Like. Let's put our thinking cap on. What do we think this sole is about?
There's that orange.
But like this is kind of like ombre, like
dirt.
they're like
It's
like
wavy,
puddles.
like a camo kind of
Clay.
trend to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Nick, any thoughts? Or are we just like overthinking every detail for no reason?
We're spending a lot of time on a pack that 3 out of the 4 of us don't like.
Here's a question. I'm going to get rid of the stupid Browns for right now. So, have they announced the date of the Baron 9s?
Why were those supposed to? Why where were
How
Are
did-
you thinking that? Are you,
what's
you
the
think
release
that we're
date?
just one? You think we're just one off, and then that's like the U.S. Open is
No,
because he played in.
Just questioning when's the release date for him?
I don't know if we know that. I haven't seen anything.
I'm gonna set it Wednesday next week.
I thought I heard the 17th.
I mean, that would be Wednesday next
Thursday.
week.
That'd be the Thursday of.
That means they
What,
go live. They go live this week. If they go live this week, then they would be live for the 17th. So, have the Jordans been dropped on Fridays?
I don't know if that's the real date, but if it is, what else is going on that week?
Oh, that's the PGA week, isn't it?
Oh, okay. How are they going to spin that one?
Oh, because the Barons were a baseball team and he was playing baseball in Louisville
And
Slugger.
he's from North Carolina, so that's where.
So they're going to make some. Yeah.
Wait, so just say wait. So are you saying that the Barons one actually should have been the U.S. Open since they're shifting everything up?
I'm not saying that, but I just okay. Here's my thing. We love a great story with the shoes. I can admit the storytelling for these shoes is top notch. I hate the color. I don't like any of the shoes because of the color. But just skip the release of the Jordan 9s for the Masters and just don't even bring them out. I don't understand why put them with the Masters when they clearly were not for that Masters. Like, and especially when the following major is the one it should have been, it just looks like a debacle to me. I just.
Well, and because we got a Jordan 1 Endless Pursuit, which looks awesome. I got it. I love the Endless Pursuit Jordan 1.
Yep.
Awesome shoes. So that's the strange thing. Like you didn't do a wood one, right?
Just don't come out with a Jordan 9 for the Masters.
And you know what?
Well, did we get a
The
Jordan?
storytelling
Did we get a
thing,
Jordan
I'm
1
confused
wood
now on the
now?
bourbon one because now I got so many baseball vibes. I'm so confused about the PGA one. Now you're right. There's baseball vibes now in this. So it's got to be a wood story. It's just got to be. Sorry.
I think it's wood. It's definitely the wood.
Wood barrel.
Would we do it differently?
Oh, that was great.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll take my bows. We're gonna end this here. It's been an hour. Just kidding.
I think we still have like 3 topics to go.
Yeah,
did we cover everything?
We still have to score these. We haven't even scored.
Are we going to talk about Nelly at the Met Gala today?
Oh,
No. I didn't see
I heard
it.
that.
I didn't see it.
You
Yeah,
did?
she's wearing like roses.
She looks
nice.
we had
beautiful.
Did she
PG-13.
wear Nike shoes?
No, she had heels.
But it was it's cool to see her and like Lewis were there, Serena was there. Met Gala, always crazy. Don't understand fashion. That's why I don't
Nick's
like
so
reaching.
disappointed she didn't wear Nikes. That's it. No, he's not going to endorse her.
I don't think
Also, you guys, whoever was watching on YouTube, just watch me like how my mind worked and like just like searching the internet while we're like talking, and I realized that the screen was still up. And
Bring up the dress.
so I don't know if I can find it, but
It's not a Nike dress.
yeah, we'll just
Don't
say
be weird.
Were you part of this conversation at the beginning when we talked for a half hour about some guy who's not even with the brand anymore?
You mean the guy that built Nike Golf?
we did not talk about David Duvall, guys. I don't know what we're talking
Oh, you mean Sevi?
about. Oh, jeez.
Oh, by the way, that visor had 2 Nike logos blocking a different brand. So,
Yeah.
lotsy woozy. It's
I
all
miss Duval.
fairy dust.
All right, are we gonna score these? Do we need to bring this back up, or are we
No,
gonna-
Zero.
It's off the rails. He's giving it zeros.
the
It's off the rails. Save it. We're going to talk to Carlos. We're going to talk to a true professional next week. So,
Yeah, we'll score him next week.
we'll
All
do
right.
that.
Oh, God.
I also like the pack. They have a pack though, with the hats, 2 hats, and then they've got sweatshirt.
Nobody's
in 2
buying 'em.
colors,
Nobody's buying 'em.
and a T-shirt in 3 colors. Just like the Endless Pursuit ones. I think they're a little bit different. These are the full cotton, not the cotton blend that we got for Endless Pursuit. So it was a little bit different.
If you buy an extra large, it'll be a small by the time you wash it. Be a crop top.
Hey, crop tops are in. Okay. So,
Not for me.
geez. Man.
Have you
How
ever
about we
seen
talk-
Final Destination when the roller coaster goes flying off the rails?
Yeah, this is
we
where
are.
we're at.
Yep.
Hey, we can get slightly back on the rails, or we can go further off it right now.
You choose.
No, it's the same topic.
I say we just end
So-
it and go off camera.
All right. So it is, and it's to get Nick back on our good graces a little bit. And I don't know if we need him on this, but hey, who's peaking right now? We got Brooks.
BK.
Brooks winning in Shanghai. You know, the start before the PGA. He's going to defend his PGA. Not at the same course, but obviously at Valhalla in Louisville. But pretty sure this is exactly what he did last year too, winning on Live and then winning PGA. So our thoughts about, we'll talk about PGA next week's episode. We're going to have some PGA professionals on, hopefully a PGA roundtable, to talk about kind of what they're doing, but also talk about the PGA professionals and just their lifestyle of everything. But let's talk about kind of our odds and our people going into the PGA. We obviously have Brooks. We have Scotty. Got to talk about him. So I don't know if he'll be there. And Rory, Tommy. Tony's been super quiet this year. I don't know what's happening with him. He's just going to too many galas, I think. Thoughts on our Nike guys. And we talked about, again, end of last week's episode, we talked about the state of Nike and where we're at with these people and our guys and ladies, because Nellie's on top of the world as well. But how are we feeling about everyone going into the PGA? Nick, you can go first, especially I know you're a big BK guy, so plus you like Brooks.
Wow.
I know you're a Culver's.
You're
guy.
on a roll tonight. I'm gonna get.
I know.
That's a clap too.
Thank you.
How about this?
He's a Culver's guy, guys. So just FYI.
Culver's also better than any other fast food restaurant out there.
I agree.
But
But Nick was actually in an
casual, but it
advert.
has a drive-through.
Advert for Culver's.
Yeah. I haven't been able to talk to you guys, but how great does it feel that the best man and the best woman in the world are wearing the swoosh?
Yeah,
Feels good. And not just the best, total domination right now from those two.
Yeah.
Been fun to watch.
And we could say almost like the best in all 3 tours if we wanted to really stretch it.
Yeah, BK's first live player to win 4 events. Yep. Back to the PGA though, and the who's hot, who's not. Obviously, this might be the only thing that me and Maddie actually agree on is our love affair of BK. So I'm always going to be cheering for him. I hope he wins, but man, if Scotty shows up, he's insane right now.
We don't want to talk about the guy. What about the guy that last one at Valhalla, though.
Well, I was getting there. You just calm down. I would love to see Tony or Tommy win. I really would. I like both of them. Tommy has played good, but I'm not feeling it. But my buddy Rory,
Here it comes.
yes, he won it the last time it was there. He also won it when Nike was still like what I like to call it, like an athletic brand. It had the athletic look. Maybe you should go back to the flat bill.
You were just leading me into it. We've talked about this man. We've talked about this man many times on this podcast, but if he showed up as Flat Bill Rory, I think he wins by 30 strokes.
And while you're at it, just bring back one of the greatest Nike polos of all time. Just throw it all on.
They kind of brought it back. They've tried twice to kind of bring it back, but never exactly like it. They've done it with the pocket on with the swoosh on the pocket, and then the different colors.
Straight up though, the colors too of that, because they had the pink and the purple.
That was amazing.
He won it in purple.
They had that. Was it a Volt or it was a Volt?
Sure did.
Yeah,
they did a Volt one, a red one that he wore in the Omega commercial. Where I don't know if you guys remember the soundtrack to that one. Standing in the Hall of Fame.
He won the British in the pink, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, with that quarter zip, with that gray and pink quarter zip, so good. But the gray was the base. Yeah, the gray was and the back was dark gray. So it was
like British Mother's Day too, or something like that over there? Like I forget. I think it was like there's something that was his mom.
It was his dad. His dad had bet way back when that he would win a British Open before the age of 25, and that was his last attempt, I think, to get it done. Maybe. I don't remember.
He was close. Yeah.
But yeah, that won it for him.
Yeah.
So in other words, I'm hoping for BK. Scotty's the best in the world right now. Depends on what's going on up here. And
I would put money that we will get 3 Nike guys in the top 7. I would put money on that.
Just a reminder. 2023 PGA Championship. You guys know who won, right? BK. You guys know who tied for second?
Scotty.
Michael Block. Fudge.
So if you had to do a Knicks pick right now, not a Keith's pick, a Knicks pick, you picking Scotty, or are you going with Brooks? Because it does feel like immovable object, unstoppable force kind of thing, right?
Yeah, seriously, both of them.
Like Scotty's as hot as can be, but when BK gets a roll, we all know nobody rolls like BK. So it's like, could you imagine those two going punch for punch on Sunday?
Bring it. I would like, if you're making me choose, God.
Yeah, you just got to make a $5 investment right now. Are you picking BK or Shuffles?
God, I think in these cases, I'm always going to go back to my favorite player and just hope that he wins. So I'm going Brooks.
But that just shows how epic Scotty's on, right?
Dude,
that Nick has to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like, if you're listening to this, I'm not ignoring the fact that he is the best player in the world by a large margin right now.
He could also be dealing with a bad back after sleeping on one of those couches in the hospital there. So with delivering the baby, so you just never
Golf
know.
Forever. Fix that right.
Oh yeah, Golf Forever. Hey, Golf Forever. Why don't you sponsor us? But yeah, I mean, I saw the tweet, like he'll be humbled real soon by one of those couches, because we all have been there and humbled by
those things suck.
So
for as much as they charge you on the hospital bill, you think you should get a cot. Talk about ripping off. You guys think a $200 hoodie's a rip off? How about a $20,000 hospital bill?
Because he is slated. He has withdrawn from the Wells Fargo this coming week.
He did?
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean,
for what reason?
Big Aberg, though.
Because of the back?
Huh?
I think she's doing.
No, because the baby's actually due.
Okay.
That's why. Yeah.
So good pick. Good pick, Nick. With Brooks.
That's tough.
Is that foreshadowing?
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Brooks
we have
is
a hard
just,
time here. I don't know if you've been listening the whole year, Nick. It's just the fact that, we try not to pick Scotty because we don't want to jinx him. But then when it actually comes time to pick somebody else, we're like, oh, God, it's tough because he's just
That's
so
what
good.
we do, though, that we don't ever pick Scotty, and that's why. He's just a winning machine.
Here's a legit question. Has there been a player, and I know you can look at stats and, you can go on social media, and whoever wins one tournament, they're the next Tiger Woods. But has there been anyone this dominant since Tiger?
I think Rory had a stretch that was like this. That was.
I don't think he did. I know he won, but I mean, Scott, what is this? 3 years now of Scotty winning fairly often, and now what was he on 4 out of 5 or?
Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't won. He's won he's won 2 majors, so they've been the same one. If he wins another major, then I can get on that board. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing of Anthony Edwards as Michael Jordan right now, he's won 1 playoff series in his life. Like, and I want to like the young guys, but I just think that it still feels like a ridiculous comparison. This is why in Gumby. The first season, we talked about this kind of off air a lot. This is why I probably have such hatred for Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth probably might be one of the nicest dudes on the entire tour, but I can't stand him because he had a great year. And the next thing you know, he's some people were telling us he's better than Tiger. Like, what? And he hasn't done anything since. Like, the dude hits balls 3 fairways over. He's screaming at his caddy to go get that. Like, he should probably just go get his wrist fixed and take off the rest of the year to actually be a good golfer again.
Yeah, maybe try to stay in the top 20. Jeez.
Okay, wait, sorry, not to sidetrack because I want to get Keith's opinion on this whole thing, but just another shot at Mr. Spieth. Rory takes all the shots, all the arrows, and he gets 50 mil equity. Meanwhile, JT and Jordan sit back and they get 25 equity. Come on now.
All right. I don't even want to talk that.
That's just a joke.
It's to appease whoever.
Exactly.
It's Scotty PGA against Brooks.
Yeah, what's Scotty?
Tiger Woods hasn't done anything.
Scotty as good since Tiger.
I think domination-wise, I think there could be something up and coming with Scotty, but I don't think Rory went on a run like Tiger or Brooks with his majors. Tiger won 8 times a year. He won 9 times a year. Majors in between there. Nobody's winning that many tournaments that year. Scotty can pull it off, but I don't think there's somebody as dominant as Tiger right now.
No, sorry. I just meant sense. Yeah. Like, is this maybe I should have said, is this the closest we've seen to it?
Yes. I'm going to say right now.
Sure. Because even last year when someone like John Rahm was winning majors and won 4 or 5 times, like, it is also tough too because our world is shattered compared to what it was. And so you could argue, if you wanted to be this douchebag, that you can be the Taylor Gooches of the world and saying that the fields aren't as strong, which is leading to
he'll be in the PGA
to Scotty. But like, Scotty's beating who he had to beat. Tiger beat friggin', the Retief Goosens and the world.
Just say it, Phil. He beat Phil.
I'm not saying Retief's a bad player, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't. Sometimes the gravitas of like the younger generation is a little bit different, right? Like of it. So, I don't know. I just
it feels different because Scotty's winning tour titles, tour events plus majors, versus like
and he's winning.
Brooks went on his run. Brooks was not interested in winning on the PGA Tour at all. Right. He's like, yo, catch me at the majors, bro. But it was so
elevated. He's winning elevated titles, right?
Oh God, this is with that stuff.
I know, but he's winning. He won the AP, won TPC. Like, those are big events.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you,
but
Gumby.
Those are also those are the Tiger events, right? That's what Tiger won 8 times. That's what Tiger won 6 times. That's, like.
Actually, he only won the Players twice, but.
No, I know, but at least AP won 8. So
when someone starts winning one event like 6 or 7 times in a row, then we can talk.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. Do you remember when it was like, oh, Steve Stricker owns the John Deere because he's won it like 4 or 5 times in a row, and it's like, oh, by the way, Tiger also owns Bay Hill, and he
Firestone,
and he owns
Memorial, Firestone, Torrey,
yeah.
Augusta.
It's hard, but it's 3 years now, right? And Scotty had a down year putting, and he was still in the mix all year long last year.
Yeah.
And when he does putt, he's walking away from dudes. So that's what makes it feel like Tiger, is because there's a gap. It's not like he's just eking this stuff out.
Yeah, Tiger commented on Scotty too on the Today's Show. Like, if he puts great, he's blowing people. If he puts decent, he's going to be right there. If he's not putting, he's still going to. Yeah, he's just.
I think the biggest one was you win the Masters, and you're on the highest of highs. Well, I'm assuming. I haven't done that, but I'm assuming. And then you don't take time off, and you go to the Heritage and do it again. Like, that's insane to me.
Yeah,
that's not done like ever, right? Like,
no, people always take it off. It seems like.
Yeah, that one was. I think Daniel Rappaport said that might be the scariest part of it all, is that he. And not to mention like Babygate through all of the Masters. So your attention is everywhere else. And then you're like, but Babygate didn't matter the next following week. Like it was. So I just, I think that is just quite, it's definitely something cool brewing. And you know what the coolest part is? He rocks us. He rocks the swoosh, So
he wears a 4-year-old shoe, but whatever.
Oh, here we go. Here's the next 14 minutes. I actually do want to hear this. Okay, Nick, if you were going to have him move into a more current shoe, what shoe would you put him in?
ADG5.
No.
The Freeze that Nellie's wearing? Like, her new Freeze are getting overshadowed by TW20s.
Well, are you asking what I would put him in or what I think he would go in?
I think you could give both, right? Because they would be different. Because I know you'd want him in next percent, but like
I
don't
would,
know
but
that
he was already in He was already in the victory. Was he in the victory tour? 1?
2 and 3.
Here's an idea.
No,
Hold
I
on.
never wore 3.
No.
Listen to this. Here we go. You ready? Does anybody listen to this that makes like big decisions at Nike?
Hopefully. No, I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's just hope they are. Because I have.
And by the way, Nick he will leave next episode, so please continue listening to us. Those of you that rock.
No. Because what I'm about to say, everybody, 100% of the people are going to be on board. Okay, you listening? So you got the best player in the world, the best player in your stable, wearing a shoe that's 4 years old. Okay. How about you just bring back the Tour Premier with the same sole? It was the most beloved shoe possibly of all time, high performance, a badass golf shoe. Just bring it back because a bunch of these young heads who are just getting into the game after COVID, they don't even know what it is. It'd be brand new to them. It's the best shoe they've ever made. And people would be going even more nuts had Tiger not been hurt and it was labeled. That's bam, right there. If it was still labeled the TW, whatever it would have been, 19,
18, 19,
18,
whatever.
It would have been 18, yeah.
18,
it might have been one of the best selling shoes of all time. Just bring that shoe back. The color blocking, there's so many options with that shoe. It is what? Just bring it back.
You just have to fix the tongue a little bit for me, and then I'm okay with it.
I'm totally with you, man. I actually say we should have gotten a Tour Premier too. We deserve to get maybe a modified, maybe one that would breathe a little bit better, maybe something with a modified tongue. That you killed Fast Fit. You used it once and you never used that system again.
Fit was amazing.
Better than BOA. Better than
BOA.
Yes.
Yep.
I could see Scotty in that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I think
loves
that's
that
amazing.
soul. I think he loves that soul a lot, and so why not just like make sure that that is the next soul on whatever he.
I mean, if you want to see what you can do, people, if you're listening, you probably tuned me out a long time ago, but whatever. Just because you love Brown, whatever. If you want to see what that tour premiere is capable of with colors, just go to Nomad's Instagram page
Yeah.
because some of the stuff
Friend
he
of the
did with
program.
that shoe.
Even the stuff that they did with that shoe, right? I would
Yes.
call them the traffic cones. They were like the orange with the right. That was
Yeah, the
Brooks's.
The Brooks camo, the blue camo,
the blue
camo.
camos, and then they had
Bethpage.
Bethpage
Yeah.
ones.
Oh yeah.
Safaris.
Like
Oh,
there's a lot of
The
tuxedos
Nasties?
are just the regular black and whites. Yeah, the
open.
car
car
nasties.
nasties were
Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah,
But
there's
even
some
if
snake pack were gonna be ridiculous in those too. By the way, if those ever came out, just gonna say that.
Yeah, what year was Snake Pack? 20 or 21 or
18. 18.
It was 18.
No,
so
19.
then that
19.
So it would have been a second run. Yeah,
so that would have been TW 18 because 18 was the first
2 year
year.
cycle. Yeah.
2 year cycle. Yep.
just Nike Golf, if anyone is out there, that's all you got to do. That's all you have to do.
Is that the first shoe we retro? If they ever retro golf shoes, ever
Yeah.
bring them back?
What are you talking
Well,
about?
the
They showed a
TW13.
TW13 there, buddy.
Non-T-dub.
Not
no,
T-Dub. Sorry, you're right. You're right. I didn't
Except
say
that
not
technically
T-Dub.
would have been
Even though that
retro
was a T-Dub shoe.
But even if you don't have the white pair, do you, Keith?
White, black.
Yeah,
A
tuxedos.
classic.
I
All time.
mean, it is so simple but bold, and it's perfect. Man, just bring
Simple
it back.
bold. Just like you
And
said at
then-
the beginning of the episode.
I'm going to go off on a little. This is a short rant. I'll keep it short, promise. So, one of the best shoes they've ever made, right? So, what was it called? The first thing, Infinity Tour.
Tour. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing that bugs me with Nike. Sometimes they just keep adding names and numbers and
Next percent. Like we keep
the
calling them the next
percent-
percent twos, but they're Infinity
Just-
Tours. So it's like
Yeah.
like bring that
Yeah.
shoe back. Called the Tour Premiere every year. Tour Premiere. Tour Premiere. Tour Premiere. It's simple. Don't overthink it.
well, and then you're setting up and you're also now post Tiger setting up a class system of how you want your shoes to be like seen and worn. So you have a premier version, you have an infinity version. Like as you do your apparel line now, you now set up the shoe line in the same sort of ranges.
Yeah.
So the Victory Tour doesn't sell the best, right? No, maybe.
I don't-
I think it does if you're looking for the cleated bottom like that. Yeah, I think it does sell.
Yeah, but you don't hear anybody like, "Oh my God, I got to get those." So bring the Tour Premiere back. It's your top-notch shoe. Then you want the athletic running shoe style? Go the next percent, and then after that, have fun with it.
Well, or you get your style shoes in, right? That's when you get your Air Max ones,
Yep.
your Pegasus, whatever ones there, and then the Jordans.
Your
as
Air
well.
Jordan 1 lows, cleated or not cleated.
Good rant, Nick. Okay, my last thing before we wrap this up, before we get too long-winded, was what are they going to wear with this pack at the PGA? Because I haven't seen anything in our apparel stable that actually then fits with this, and maybe we just haven't seen it because it's spring summer drop stuff and we haven't seen a catalog on that. But what are they gonna? Don't you dare say brown, Nick. But what are they gonna wear with this, guys? What do you think?
I'm going to tell you. You know who should be wearing these?
UPS.
Jason Day.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Fits everything else he's wearing.
it's true.
Not a fan of the Melbourne, huh? Yeah, I think you could get away with like light bones sail pants with
Yeah.
these.
Navy blue
Yeah.
pants would be fine as well.
Yeah, light blues, light grays, sail the light cream colors. I think those for the bottoms at least those will work.
I hope Brooks wears black pants.
I just
with a
don't know
pink
what.
shirt.
I just don't know what polos they have out there right now that I feel like are gonna like fit with this. I guess.
Well, in the ombre, you could do that white gray. That would go with everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, there's the blue ombre also.
But in all seriousness, I mean, how many times have we seen Brooks in the Infinity in a crazy color, and it doesn't even come close to matching what he's wearing? Like,
Right. I mean,
I kind of like that sometimes.
Yeah, I do too, because that goes back to Peaches.
Peaches did not work with anything that he was doing.
Yeah. PJ too. The only ones he wore, the PJ ones with the purple and the tan.
He had those brown pants though that kind of like worked.
Yeah, I also
think
look
he better this year.
Gridiron pants also, like that purplish gray pant.
Yeah.
Did he not have those on also?
Yeah, that's what he had last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he wanted, I believe. That day.
I did feel like that PGA outfit though was. I think I wanted to stir the pot and score that outfit. That wasn't the best outfit on a Sunday.
For Sunday.
Also, BK, if BK's watching this, after you win, could you have your crew just tell that one dude not to wear that other brand? Get your
Crew
boys.
does not know how to speak yet. He's only a baby. He does not know how to speak yet.
Not that guy. His buddy who was in the 3 stripes tracksuit. Like, come on. Give him something. See, I mean, come on. You just won. You got him up there with you, and he's wearing that brand. Jesus, man. God.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need Claude to switch over to Nike and get out of that other stupid cat.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
That Puma cat that looks like a Grove cat that looks like a Le Tigre hat. That looks like a they're all cats. It's all a bunch of cat logos.
Deep down
I pulled up Brooks's look. Those pants weren't bad with those shoes and the white.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That the pant didn't go bad. Yeah,
but they just had white. He had white,
was it that color?
Or was it this? It was this one.
It was that one. Yeah,
that one.
With the white polo. That's right. That's what he wore on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I take that back. That wasn't bad.
So those.
I think Brooks
probably go with that. With the PJ shoe last year, which you guys were right.
Yeah, I mean they go okay. I guess it's this weird. I'm pulling it up right now. It's like a weird look, right? Like it was the red and the purple just kind of throw that off, but it does fit this.
It does fit.
It looks like a brown color from this distance.
Yeah,
that's kind of
nobody's buying those.
But then at least it's white, which is kind of standard Brooks right now. So
I think Matt would agree. Just bring back the green shirt he wore when he won at Erin Hills.
Zonal. Yeah. Well, hey, look, we're not allowed to have camo anymore, apparently. But yes, when he wore at Belle Reve, that green zonal cooling that I also got a picture with Tommy Fleetwood in. Oh my gosh, what a year for me that was.
That was at Medina, wasn't it?
That was at Medina, and then Brooks with Bo Jackson walks past me, both wearing tour premieres with Nomad Custom doing the LA Raiders.
Brooks knows.
Supposedly it was a Raiders. I still suggest it's a White Sox. It was a White Sox tour premiere. I don't care what you say.
I'm going with the White Sox. You want to talk about the White Sox? Oh yeah, there's nothing to talk about.
No, I'm done. Okay, you know what? This got off the rails.
Sorry.
But let it be known that in an hour, 19 minutes in, Nick Spears made one good point. After that, it's all been.
Oh my goodness!
One.
Which one was that? Which point was that?
I could go on an hour rant just on Jerry Reinsdorf if you want me to.
Oh well, that's a different. Nobody wants to hear that. No, this is not a Chicago podcast, sir. Please, sir, this is an Arby's.
It's not an Arby's. Oh goodness gracious! All right. Okay. If you liked all this ranting and raving and all of that stuff, remember to become a supporter of the podcast by going to patreon.com/the Swoosh Life Podcast. You'll find it in our bio. And I should have done this I say this at the end of every episode. I need to do this at the beginning. Why is no one reminding me to do this at the beginning, you guys? But remember, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at the Swoosh Life Podcast to stay up to date on all things swoosh. Final thoughts from the Peanut Gallery.
I think Gumby,
I've been hitting it with the puns today. Everyone missed the crew pun.
I did it.
All right, but just saying. We hitting it hard. Yeah, Dad life coming in.
We get ourselves so worked up at the beginning of the shows before we hit record. We always forget what to do.
Yeah. We need more than just 2 people being our Patreons right now, guys. So please help us. But also, thanks for the support on the sweatshirts, because those sold like hotcakes and are really freaking awesome. So it made Keith work really hard, but he likes doing it. So do some more.
Brings me back to my old days, Nike Team Sports, old days.
Yeah. We need more of those. Peanut Gallery last thoughts. Don't go too long.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Even though you knew that I was gonna. Did you guys watch wrestling when you were younger?
Yeah, you went full heel today. We get it.
Have you know Scott Hall?
Yeah.
The bad guy?
Yeah. You went to I think I'm going to SummerSlam, by the way. I might just start a wrestling podcast, but I'm going to SummerSlam. I'm going to become a wrestler.
Okay, that's awesome. I guess thanks for letting me come on. Hopefully I didn't ruin the whole pod in an hour and a half. But I'm going to ask one thing. Can I come back on if you guys are doing it? Can I come back on like July 25th-ish?
That seems very open-ended.
I will be on my golf trip, so you could sub in for me.
Is that something we need to know?
You talked about it before the show.
What did I talk about?
You're coming to Chicago.
There? Yeah, I'm coming out of Chicago. Yeah, but that's like July 18th. Oh, you want to recap meeting me?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
unless we want to go live while you're here.
Oh, we'll do that. Absolutely. Matt's going to join us, we think.
Maybe we go live on the course.
We should go live on the course and have people place bets on who will win.
Oh, yes.
Matt, you could be right up there. We'll give you strokes, Matt. We'll give you strokes.
Yeah.
I'm not giving
by the way,
strokes. No.
I'm up to a 15 now.
Bullshit. No.
Sandbagger.
First time I ever played golf with a guy, he chips in second hole. Bam. Sandbagger.
Oh, I don't hit my driver. Guy pipes it 330 yards down the middle.
Matt, your final words.
This one better than I expected.
There.
No. So I do want to promote a little bit. I went on the #1 podcast in Bourbon Pursuit. Thanks to Ryan and Kenny, those guys. If you guys want to learn more about bourbon, those were the guys that really helped shepherd me into that community. It's an amazing community. And I talked about the parallels between sneakerheads and bourbon lovers. And one of the things I want to point out today is just something that actually happened in this podcast. We want stuff to be ultra rare, but ultra available. And those two things just do not mix. So, that's the hard thing about when you're passionate about a hobby. I'm passionate about 2 hobbies. Obviously, this one mixes both this release. So, yeah, in a vacuum, yeah, I'm so on those colors, but I think it tells the story and I'm with it. So overall, I enjoyed, this is one of the better episodes, I think, because we got to go back and forth and we had a difference of opinion. And in my defense, that Infinity Tour is mostly gray blue. So go eat your sign. Bye.
As Nick holds up his "No one likes brown" sign, I just want to say, everybody out there that bought our first round of hoodies, thank you. We like seeing the posts, people getting them in the mail and everything. So thank you for support. We'll try to do more in the future. It's a little tough. We don't have like a storefront or anything like that, but we're gonna keep rolling with stuff for you guys out there.
Hey, I got an idea. Maybe you should make a brown hooded sweatshirt. See who buys it.
We'll just do a special release for the PGA.
You know what? There might be one showing up brown on your doorstep in a couple weeks.
Hey, you know those videos when like a team loses or a player sucks and they burn their jersey?
You're just don't burn it. They're expensive, man. You just took a shot. Matt just took a shot, guys. You better watch it.
Hey,
you better start watching this on YouTube. It's hilarious. They're funny.
I love you guys. Thanks for letting me come on.
Anytime.
For the Swoosh Life Podcast. Remember, like, comment, subscribe on Instagram, YouTube. Follow us. We're almost at 100 subscribers on YouTube, so that's pretty awesome. But until the next time, that's been Keith, Matt, Nick. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Make sure you follow us at the Swoosh Life Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And support us by going to patreon.com/Swoosh Life Podcast or at podcasters.spotify.com. And make sure you're watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Swoosh Life Podcast. And always listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Swoosh Life Podcast.
Checks over stripes, yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, that's what we like. Yeah.